Okay, everyone, this is a demo of what we're doing for classwork for lesson 5. So this is what you will end up posting to your Seesaw account, right? So go ahead, lesson 5, and you can label it. This is after your fire, right? My American Perspective, right? And remember the word perspective. Just so you guys know, the word perspective means, if you want to like color it, like label or color it in another color, the word perspective means how I see America. So what you're going to do is you're going to divide your journal into 2 pages, right? And we have part 1 of the objective, and we have part 2 of the objective. Okay, the first part of the objective, you're using these sentence frames, and this is after we've annotated the text and all that. You're going to go ahead and you're going to look and you're going to think, okay, well, what am I going to say about America? Am I going to say America's ideal, choice 1, right? Am I going to say it's real, like my real perspective? Like America is, so like choice 2 is kind of more negative. Choice 1 is more positive. So you're going to go negative, you're going to go positive, or are you going to talk about both? I think the situation is pretty complicated, so I'm going to go with both. So even though Americans struggle in poverty, now I don't want to take the example sentence, but I can go to the next slide, right? And you all will have a copy of this deck, and I can go ahead and I can use one of these frames. So I'm going to use choice 3A. So even though, and by the way, you should label part 1, that's your thesis. Part 1, thesis. So you're writing, and you really need this in your journal because you're going to refer back to this during your work for this project. So this is my thesis. So I'm using the sentence frames. So here I go. Even though Americans, and then use language from like our class discussion today. So I'm going to do like a little bit on the positive side, right? Or on the negative side, right? So even though Americans, and I'm going to make it to our current situation, are currently locked down and struggling. I don't think I need a comma there. And struggling due to our current president's selfishness, right? Because I feel like he made this all about him and he didn't really take care of the country. He was just worried about the stock market and how people were seeing him, and he downplayed the virus. So even though Americans are currently locked down and struggling due to our current president's selfishness, so that's the reality, right? So all of this, right, that I'm highlighting, that's our current reality. Americans are currently locked down due to our current president's selfishness. Those are all my words. I'm just filling them in. This is kind of like a clause, right? Now I'm going to say kind of like the positive side, right? Human beings will get through this pandemic together due to, and then I can look at the word bank if I'm stuck, right? I don't know. None of this is really speaking to me, like the positive side, the blue. But I like this idea of like working together in teaching. So due to education, the belief in family, hope, and love. So I'm like listing all the things that I think are going to get us through this crisis, and I'm going to highlight that, those in green. So that's kind of like, so the beautiful thing about choice 3 is you can kind of talk about both sides of the issue and consider having like the negative and the positive in your drawing. Now that's my thesis for my art piece. That's the idea I'm trying to convey. I'm going to now go ahead and work on part 2, but I'll start a new video for that.